Right, so good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me for the LeadSquared product training. Today we will be covering part 2. So what I'd like to do is I've shared my screen with you, but I just want to kind of recap of where we left off yesterday. And just for those of you who might have not joined part 1 yesterday, just to remind you that LeadSquared in the world of software is essentially what we refer to as a sales and marketing automation platform. And basically what we do for our customers is build out key processes to save you time, so you don't have to keep doing, the same mundane, repetitive tasks over and over again. And the output that we hope to achieve for all our clients is basically to help you grow your revenue and increase your sales numbers and hit those targets. Now, yesterday I did cover quite a lot of detail with you, and a lot of you, Shane, dropped me a call after the session yesterday. I popped through some emails, but what I just wanted to remind you of is that although we covered a lot of detail yesterday in terms of how to actually set up your LeadSquared platform, I want you to remember that we do have an implementation team. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves in is our ability to work with our clients, configure your LeadSquared profiles for you, and that's why we actually take most of our clients through an implementation process. Remember, if you do head off to our website, just take a look at our implementation page. It really is the cornerstone to making sure that you experience success out of your LeadSquared platform. So if you have not set your LeadSquared platform up to support your business processes or the actual deliverables that you want to achieve, we don't want you to ever feel that you've made a bad investment. So work with our implementation team. It does mean that when you are ready to log into your LeadSquared profile, that basically you've got a system that's already working and supporting your business processes. Okay, so yesterday, just as a reminder, and I'm going to share something else with you today, because one of the things that we're going to work on today is the actual email campaigning. And I know a lot of you have been quite excited, to get stuck into this. It's one of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. And I just wanted to take the opportunity to really remind you that we're really incredibly lucky to be partnering with LeadSquared Global, to bring to South Africa this amazing premium sales and marketing automation platform. What that means is that our clients no longer have to, fork out hundreds and hundreds of thousands of rands to have access to a platform like this. And as I shared with you yesterday, very similar to products that you might have been aware of before, if you are looking at onboarding, as you can see on the slide in front of you, 500,000 contacts. So remember, yesterday we spoke about leads, and these are records of people that you put into your LeadSquared platform. But if you were to use other products on the market, just loading up 500,000 contacts is going to be costing you, as you can see, just over $7,000 US a month. The other thing that I'd like to just draw your attention to is that in the world of software, most software companies charge you your subscription in advance for a year. We basically give our clients the ability to basically pay on a quarterly basis, a biannual basis, or an annual basis. So we're really trying hard to make this solution possible for our clients. Because we're going to be talking about email campaigning today, there's another slide that I wanted to share with you. And the reason why I share this one is because a lot of you have had exposure to similar kinds of products like this, where you are, using platforms to do what we call bulk emailing. Now, on this particular slide, if you have a look at it, it says 200,000 contacts. So if you want to load up 200,000 contacts in order for you to send emails to these contacts every single month, have a look at what it's going to cost you. Just over 100,000 Rand a month to send out emails to 200,000 contacts. And as I shared with you yesterday, on our premium plan, the most expensive plan that we have at LeadSquared is 1,399 Rand a month. It gives you 1 million email credits a month, and you can load up to 500,000 contacts. So just reminding you of the powerful tool that you guys have in LeadSquared. Then just to remind you, because I did share a lot of information with you yesterday, that please remember that if you are wanting to, do a little bit of more research or visit our website, please remember that if you are in South Africa, use the local site, leadsquared.co.za. All right, so that's where you will find out the pricing in rands, and you'll find all the local content that makes sense, to our local clients. Right. Yesterday, I shared with you guys that we are supported by our global team. They've been, in the SaaS world for many, many years, highly experienced, over 350 employees. We currently have over 1,000 customers. Some of those are companies like Amazon Pay, OLX, many local clients. We've got over 100,000 unique users that use LeadSquared at the moment. And as you can see, we're growing, globally at this stage. So we support anybody on the African continent. For those of you who missed out yesterday, this is just some of our executive team. The guys in the South African shirts are the clever guys who built LeadSquared with their really talented teams behind them, with some of us local guys. As a matter of interest, the guy on the left-hand side, Ian Banner, is the chairman of our board. He's done some really great things. Maybe some of you guys have heard of, like, the World Sports Laureus Awards. So that's a project our initiative that Ian built up with people like Johan Rupert. So really, really gifted with the talent that we have in our business. This is some of our local people that you guys would engage with. So like I mentioned yesterday, even what I'm going to show you today when we get into the email campaigning, for those of you who really don't want to build out your own email campaigns or your own landing pages, please reach out to us. We offer those services if you want us to really set up your marketing assets inside LeadSquared. Just to give you an indication of how that works, is that if you wanted to have an emailer designed, and remember, you're going to set these things up and you're going to be using them for years from now, and once those templates are there, you can just clone them and just edit them. So maybe a good option for you to consider letting our team help you get these things up and running and automate your campaigns. So once again, the rest of our team, we're all here to support you. Yesterday, just to remind you, we spoke about leads. So what we did yesterday is we covered, the definition of what a lead is. We basically then clarified the terminology for you around what a lead is, what an activity is, task, and we spoke about the different users. Some of you asked questions on the chat room yesterday, talking about, how do we change lead fields, etc. And Marisa was online yesterday. She's our VP for customer success and implementation. And just a reminder that there's certain things that only administrators can do. Okay, so just coming off the back of that, we then spoke about the two different sales strategies. We spoke about the sales funnel, and we spoke about life cycle marketing. So I'm really hoping that we gave you some food for thought yesterday, and you kind of took the information we shared with you and thought about how what is the right strategy for your business. So what I want to do right now is just, if you remember the difference between the sales funnel and you've got life cycle marketing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop sharing this slide, and I want to go jump back into the actual LeadSquared profile that we were working in yesterday. So let's do that quickly. Right. So I just want to get my screen ready for you guys. Right, there we go. Okay, we are there, ready to go. So I'm going to, all I've done is I've logged on to LeadSquared.coza, all right, as you can see. And what I'm going to do over now is I'm going to just come across to the login button. I'm going to log in to the profile that we set up for this particular LeadSquared training, right? And we're going to land back onto that dashboard that we worked in a little bit yesterday. So remember, we had set up this profile. We spoke about the shield agents, etc. So today what I want to do is I basically want to take you through, now that we've got leads in our system, how do we go and build out a campaign? And I want to do this step by step with you because a lot of you are really, really excited about getting your first email campaign out. So just to recap for you, yesterday we spent most of our time working in the settings, basically configuring our LeadSquared profile to work for us. Now, although I shared that with you, remember I said to you that if you, when you subscribe to LeadSquared, you've got the option for us to do your implementation for you, which means that you would just tell us what you want and we will actually do the setup for you. So you don't have to even go through that on your own. I just want you to understand the possibilities in LeadSquared. Then we spent a bit of time working in leads. So I'm going to head back to the leads over here. And if you remember, we imported a CSV file yesterday of leads. So what we did is we came over here and said import leads, and we came and imported that CSV file, and that's how all these leads ended up in our LeadSquared profile. I also showed you that you had the ability to customize your lead fields. And what we did yesterday is we actually went and set up our grid by using these little arrows over here to go and change the way that this grid appears. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to do an email campaign to people in our database. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is I want you to really encourage you to not spam people in your database. It's really important that you get to a point where you start segmenting people. So let's think about it like this. If I've got a database of 5,000 people in my LeadSquared platform today, and I want to start segmenting them, the best way to do that is do an initial broadcast email and direct people to a landing page, which will give them the option, just as an example, an option to take a specific call to action, which will then take them on a journey that they want to be in. And by doing that, what happens is you will automatically start segmenting your database, but your leads in your LeadSquared profile, they will actually start doing that themselves. So what we want to do over here is I'm just going to click on one of these leads, okay? So remember, we call these hyperlinks. So if I click on one of these leads, as you can see, it gives us the person's name, their email address and telephone number, right? And any activity that happens to this particular person will be loaded over here. So this is how you can go and edit any of your leads by just clicking on any of these edit buttons, and at the top you'll see these little pencil icons everywhere. Remember, I also spoke to you about loading activity, adding notes, tasks, and sales activity. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go and build an email campaign, and this is exactly how you guys would do it. So what do we do? Well, look for your marketing menu bar at the top of the screen. Okay, and if you click on email campaigns, just wait for it to load. And basically, just to clarify for you, an email campaign is it's a coordinated set of individual email messages that you're going to develop across a specific period with a specific purpose. So what do I mean by that? You might want somebody to have the ability to download a white paper that you write, or sign up for a webinar that you're going to be hosting. Maybe sign up to view a virtual tour of a property, or maybe get one of your coupons as an example, or a voucher. So just think about the purpose in which you are creating this campaign before you just put together any, random content. So it's really important that you make sure that you're sending out, let me call it, relevant and valuable information to your customers. So what we're going to do is, we're in the email campaign section now. Now, if you want to create an email campaign, you'll see that there's a button over here, then it says create email campaign. So you're going to click on that. Right, so once you've clicked on that, what's going to happen next is it's going to say to you, okay, what do you want to call your email campaign? Now, this is really important, because when we get into the actual statistics or the reporting for your email campaigns, LeadSquared will give you the ability to show you exactly how each campaign performs. So that is important, because it puts you in a position to understand what you should be doing more of and what content is not working. So in this particular campaign, let's call this the Welcome Aboard Heroes campaign. Right, so that's the name of our campaign. So the next thing that we're going to do is we've got the ability to select templates that are already available over here, all right? Or we're going to select a blank template. In this case, I'm going to select a blank template today, because I want to show you how easy it is to actually go and create your template. All right, let me just share my screen with you again. I see some guys are struggling to see it. Please tell me if you see a screen that's got email templates on it. Just give me a heads up that you can see that, please. Great, thank you. Okay, so as you can see, I've named my email campaign. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and select this blank template. And I just do that by hitting the select button. The next thing is, if I scroll down, you'll see that there are only so many things you can do. So the learning curve again in LeadSquared is very, very short. So I'm going to hit next, because I want to now go and create an email campaign. So we're just waiting for the editor to load now. And now what's going to happen is, what we're going to do is that the subject line that you see over here, this is, most of you have sent out an email before, and the subject line is what the recipient is actually going to see when they get this email. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the subject line, welcome aboard. Okay, so Tommy, sorry, I have shared the screen. With you. I'm not quite sure why you can't see it, but everybody else can see it. Okay, I'm not quite sure why you can't see it. Okay, so now if we're looking at our editor over here, guys, now the next thing is that you will notice on this right-hand side of the screen, these are what we call widgets. And you can use these widgets, all right, to customize the actual email content that you're going to publish. So the first thing is, you can see that over here, there's space for an image, right? Now, I want to go and put in my logo over here. So if you want to put a picture into your email, what you want to do is just double click on this. You will see that it gives you the ability to go and change your image. So if you click on change image, now what I need to do is I actually need to go, and as you can see, it's prompting me to go and upload a picture. So I want to go and upload an image, right? So I'm going to put these images in my image folder. Now, once you've put your images in your folder, they will be there for you to use in the future. But for now, the images that I actually want to use are on my computer. So I'm going to click on upload. And I'm going to go to my picture folder, and I'm going to go and look for my pictures that I want to use. Right, so I'm going to go and look for my shield logo. That's the picture I want to upload. You see it's now uploading from my computer. So we just wait for it to upload. And then what I'm going to do is, you'll see I've uploaded it. And now I'm going to say insert. So what happens now is it's inserted the shield logo, All right, so think about this. If this is your own company logo or a banner that you want to put at the top of your email, then that is as simple as it is to go and put in the picture. Okay. If you want to make any adjustments to the actual image itself, you will notice that you've got settings over here. Okay, so if you click on the image, once again, you can adjust the width. Do you see? If I'm just dragging this, look how easy it is to adjust the width of the actual picture. If I want to left align it, I'll use these controls here, center it, or right align it. So very, very easy to use. Now, if you want to put a link behind your image, so in other words, let's say you've got a website and you want to, if somebody clicks on this picture, you want to direct them somewhere, then all you're going to do is take a link and go and publish it in here. Okay, so that's as easy as it is to go and load in your image. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to go and add in some text. So you'll see that I already have a content block available. If I double click on this box, it gives me the ability to go and edit this information. Okay, now I want to go and put in the following. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to put this as my header and say, welcome aboard heroes. Okay. So that's my header, and then I want to put in some more text and that says here, the universe needs protection, so do you. We provide the most reliable sidekick you ever need. I'm just making this up. Thank you for choosing Shield as we together go for glory. So type whatever you want to type into your email over there. Right, and then I'm just going to put it on something here to say, contact us at whatever your telephone number is, or mail us at shield at marvel.com. Okay. Right, so the next thing that I want to show you is that if you want to change the fonts or the color or the styling, it's this easy. You see you've got a menu bar over here, and most of you have seen a menu bar like this before. So if you want to change the color of this, you can see this little menu item here is text color. So I want to make this red, all right? So that's as simple as it is to go and change the color of your text. If you want to change the font, then once again, just go over here, go and select the font that you want. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. But what's really important to mention to you guys is that your email that you're going to send out, this email is already responsive. So it's going to look absolutely beautiful on somebody's desktop or on their mobile device. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is that if you have a look at the actual email at the moment, you'll see that all I've got is just my text box. I want to put in another image on this email. So I'm going to go back to content. Now watch what I do. When we talk about drag and drop builders, I literally go to image, and if I want to place another image on my email, I just drag it and go and place it where I want it to be. So that's where I want my other image. So I'm going to go and browse. And there's another image that I want to upload now. So let's go and upload another image. So I want this one. So I've just uploaded it from my computer. And that's the image I want. And there we go. Can you see I've just put in another image actually into the actual email. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to show you how to use different elements of this actual, of this actual widget builder. So one of the things at the moment that's very relevant for all of you, okay, is video right now. Remember, a lot of us can't go out and go and see people for meetings, or maybe just like product information. And video is something that performs exceptionally well. So I want to show you something. If you want to put a video in your email, just drag and drop your video placeholder wherever you want it to be. Right, now I'm just going to stop sharing this and I'm going to open, we're just going to head off quickly to YouTube. And I just want to show you how this works. So let's share that screen with you guys quickly. Right, so as you can see, I'm just going to pick a random video on YouTube, and you'll see that when you click on the share button over here, okay, it gives you a link. So I'm going to copy this link, right? Now I'm going to go back to my LeadSquared application, so you see what I do with that. And over here where it says video, add video URL, you will see it gives me a little box where I can go and drop that link in. Now look what happens. It embeds that video so people can watch. If this is a video that you want to add from your YouTube channel, or it's a video of a walkthrough of a property, or maybe it's a car that you're sitting in that you want to, show the features, or let's just switch YouTube off quickly. We had some background soul music happening. Okay, so that's basically how you would use your video. So just think about how you can use this to increase your engagement. The next thing I want to show you is that I've spoken about call to actions, and you will see over here that we've got something that's called a button. So if we get to this button over here and I drag it and put it onto my email, once again, what I want to show you is, let's say that I wanted to share something with you that was on a particular, let's say, website. So I wanted to share a particular article with you, right? And let me show you how that will work. So let's just share this with you quickly. So you guys should be seeing my Google browser at the moment coming to our website, and I want to share with you where to go if you wanted to sign up for LeadSquared as an example. So you see this page over here, all right, it's got its own link. So I don't want you to go anywhere else except to this page. So I'm going to copy this link, all right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to our email builder. And behind this button, if I double click on it, can you see I can drop in another URL? So if I drop in that URL and you click on this button, all right, so I'm going to call this button sign up now. So when you click on this button, it's going to take you through to that specific web page. Now, you guys should never, ever send out an email that does not have a call to action. All right. So you're sending out the email, if you think about it, for a specific reason. So if you want somebody to download a file, as an example, or a white paper, or maybe your latest sales brochure, then make sure that you pop that information behind the button. So let me show you another cool trick. If you come down back to content, and we come back up to the text box over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say download our brochure here. So take a look what happens now. If I highlight this text, right, and over here there's a little icon that says link, and I click on the link over here, and I change this to a file manager, right? Now what I can do is I can go and upload a file that you'd be able to download. Now you'll see I'm currently in images, right? Images. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click home because I actually want to upload a file. So in this case, I'm going to click on documents, and now I'm just going to go and upload from my computer, maybe my sales brochure, whatever that brochure might be. So let's just say, let's go and have a look at something that we can upload quickly. We'll just put this in over there and upload it. Okay, so it's busy uploading the file. And behind that link, when you download it, I'm going to say insert, and I'm just going to call this sales brochure. And I click OK. Do you see what happens is it changes this word download to a hyperlink. So when people click on that, that's another call to action. Right, so that is as easy as it is to build an email in LeadSquared. Now, if you want to preview this and see what it's going to look like on somebody's desktop or mobile, then what you do is you just come across here to preview, and it's going to give you the opportunity to view what it's going to look like on a desktop as well as a mobile device. Okay, you see how nice it looks on a mobile device? It's fully responsive. You don't have to do any tricks to make it look great at all. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to hit the save button because I want to save my templates. Okay, so the next thing is you can see that we're on step 2 at the moment where we're composing the message. Step 3 is where we need to go and select the recipients. So who do we actually want to send this to? So when I click the next button, it gives me a prompt and it says to me, you've got to test your email before you can go to the next step. And this is great because you don't ever want to send an email out to somebody and, you know, maybe you have forgotten to actually go and put in the links between, you know, behind your buttons, etc. So I'm going to say test content and I'm going to send it to myself so that I can test it and make sure that everything in my email is working before I actually send it out, because many people make the mistake of forgetting to put the file behind the call to action or forgetting to put an actual link behind a button. Okay, it happens to all of us. So now we're going to click the next button. It's going to take us now to step 3, as you can see over here, where we're going to go and select who we're going to send this information to. Now, if we come over here, it says to you recipient lists. Now, over here, you've got the ability, you'll see we've got lists over here. Now, yesterday, we created a list together where we said wherever we had sent a proposal to them. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this email to all my leads. Okay, so if I click on all my leads, when we get to the marketing part of this series, I will go into more details around how you can create your recipient lists. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the next button because I want to send this to all my people in my database right now. Okay, now the next thing is what I'm going to do is I'm going to review my campaign. So you can see straight away that LeadSquared is telling me that 18 people are going to get my my email. This is the actual email campaign. You can review it at the bottom, and at the top it's going to ask me once again, send yourself a test so you can review your campaign, because once you've sent your campaign, it's done. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to step 5, which is scheduling your campaign. And scheduling your campaign basically gives you 2 options. One, you can send your campaign off now, all right? So we're going to hit the next button, or you can schedule it for a later date and time. So let's say I was building this campaign at 12, at night. Then I definitely don't want to be sending people emails at 12 at night. So today, if I wanted to send it immediately, or let's say I wanted to schedule it, I would literally say I want this to go off tomorrow, and I want it to go off at a specific time, etc. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit the send now button, and this campaign will be sent immediately. So now what happens is you will start seeing that here is our campaign. It's been scheduled to go off, and it's going to go be sent to 18 people. Okay, so at the moment what's happening is that this email campaign is actually being processed, and it's about to be sent out, and it tells you over here that your reports will be available within 20 minutes after sending your mail list. Okay, so that is as easy as it is to actually send out an email campaign. Now, what I just want to draw your attention to is that if you wanted to build a new, you wanted to build another emailer down the line, and you want to stick to the same template, because, you know, all of you kind of have look and feel or some kind of corporate identity that you like to stick to. If you come over here to content and you go to email library, you will see a list of your templates that you've created. So we give you a number of templates that you can use. All right, you can see there's 27 templates in this particular profile. So if you want to use any of them, then what you're going to do is literally just click on the edit button, okay? And you've got the ability to go and edit the content that's available for you here. Right, so that's one way of creating an email template. Alternatively, if we come back to content and email library, we also give you the ability to say, add an email template. Now, I'm not a coder, I'm not a designer, but I really enjoy using the visual designer myself. So if you click on visual designer, that's kind of what I've taken you through now. And once again, you've got the ability to use templates that are available in LeadSquared, or you can go and, as you can see over here, go and design your own emails. If you wanted to use any previous templates, then if you would just literally click on use template from library, and any of your email templates that you've built before will be available on this list. So just search for them, and basically what will happen is it will pull up your templates, so you don't have to go and recreate everything. You would just literally go and change the text that you want to do. And I'm showing you this one because a lot of you like to send out newsletters and that kind of content, to your customers, to just stay in touch with them. Okay, so that's emailers. And remember, when these emailers are created and there are teams of you using it, so let's say you've got a marketing user that goes and sets up all your email templates, or you reach out to us and our marketing team sets up your templates for you, they will be available to your team as long as you've provided them with that permission. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you, before we move on, any questions on creating an email campaign yet? Anything you guys want to ask while we're there? Okay, how are you guys feeling about this? Are you excited about this email feature? Awesome, I see some thumbs up. I love it when you see you guys excited. Cool, so if you think that's cool, wait till you see landing pages. If you are in the business, and I get asked this question all the time, if you head onto the LeadSquared website, you will see that Module 2 and Module 3 are the only two modules that give you landing pages. If you are in the business of generating leads, so in other words, if you need to generate leads so that you can do sales and so you can earn revenue, you shouldn't look at any other module except Module 2 or Module 3. The difference is that Module 3 gives you unlimited landing pages. Module 2 gives you 5 landing pages. So if you are in the business where you have multiple products, okay, multiple services, and that exceeds 5 different services or products, then you need Module 3. Okay, so basically for everything you do, you should have different landing pages. And just as a matter of interest, for those of you who maybe are not aware, that companies that do exceptionally well at lead generation have got an excess of 60 landing pages that are published at any given moment in time. Because remember, the way it might be the same product, but the way that I respond to the content will be different to the way that maybe one of you respond, so that you've got to test the content. Okay, so let's come across to landing pages. So I'm going to head back to marketing and come down here to landing pages. Now, a landing page is, it's not the same as a website. A website, if you think about your company websites, it's got a whole lot of things on it. It's like about us, your team, your features, your benefits, your pricing, all that kind of stuff. Where a landing page is a standalone page that has got an intention behind it. You want somebody to give you their details, all right, in return for something. You may want them to download a case study, a white paper, your brochure, book an appointment, book a viewing, get a quote, or buy your product. Okay, maybe even sign up for your newsletter. So if we come across to landing pages, I'm going to say over here, create landing page. Now, I know this seems a lot overwhelming for a lot of you, but you've got the ability, number one, all right, to build landing pages from a blank template, as you can see, or you can use any one of these templates that we make available to you. So I, once again, am not a coder, I'm not a developer at all. And I mean, I build out pages. I probably build out on my own about 5 to 7 pages a day because content is king. We generate most of our leads off what we call content. And content content basically will enable you to spend less on paid advertising and generate your business organically. So if you put that effort into writing content, then the best person to write the content is you, because you know your business and you're offering better than anybody else does. So just start doing it and practicing. You'll get better and better at it. Okay. So I'm going to call my landing page something like, let's call it a new hero signups. So that's what I'm going to name my page. Now, in this particular example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of my predefined templates. When we do the marketing part of the training, I'll use a blank template. But for today, what we're going to do is we're just going to use a template that's available. So I see somebody's asking a question. I just want to answer you quickly. Okay, let's just have a look here quickly. Does the landing page form part of the corporate website like a tab on the main website? Okay, it's a good question. The answer is it's up to you. So yes, it can. If you want to put a button on your website to direct people to that landing page, then yes, you can do that. And on the landing page, you can also have a button that directs them to your main website if that's what you want to do. So great question. Yes, it works both ways. Another question is, are the images received as an attachment or in line with the content? They are in line with the content. So it's a really, really great email tool. Okay, so keep your questions coming through. You guys are asking great questions. So let's go and select this template for today's training. So it's going to now load the editor. And it's a very similar concept to how you build emails. Once again, it's like it's using your mouse. It's double clicking on elements and uploading information and customizing your text. So the difference is that if you look at this editor at the top of the page, you'll see that there's something called section. Now, if you want to add sections to your landing pages, you'll see that there's a little plus button here. So I'm going to click on that because I want to show you what happens. So when I click plus and I scroll all the way down to the bottom of this landing page, do you see that it's added in an extra section? But now it's saying to me, you decide what you want the section to be. So if I click on the section and I come back to the top of my toolbar, then what you're going to see is I've got the ability to decide, okay, well, what do I want that block to be? So that section that I've just added, do I want it to be a content block? Do I want it to be a feature block? Maybe I want it to be a form. You can only have one form on a landing page. Maybe I want it to be an image, all right, a call to action, a video, or I want it to be a testimonial block. So for purposes of this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it a testimonial block. So if we scroll all the way down, what you will see over here, it's now created a testimonial block. Now, I can stretch this, all right? If I want to make it bigger, I can shift it to the right. You can see on every little block, it gives you the ability to edit how you want to display your block. If I double click on this, look what happens. It gives me a whole lot of templates. So here it gives me 3 different options. So how do I want to display my testimonial? And you decide how you want that to look. So let's say that I want it to look like this. Then I select that template. And over here, what I'm going to do is when I double click on that, it gives me the ability to say, to put in my custom text. So I am a superhero. And I press save. Okay, so once I press save, do you see what's happened? It's gone and put in the actual information that I want on my actual landing page. Now for the components that already exist here, number one, can you see that there's a logo over here? I don't want this logo to be there. I want my shield logo to be there. So if I double click on this element once again, It's going to give me the ability, all right, to go and put in my own logo. So I'm going to say insert image. And remember, we imported images just now. So it's going to remember my images that I selected. I'm going to select this one, okay, and I'm going to say insert. So I'm going to say save. And now what happens is it goes and puts in my image. Can you see how big it is though? It doesn't look great. So what I want to do is I just want to remove that other logo that's there. And what I want to do is I now want to go and edit this. So if I want to go and change the width or the height, etc., then this is where you're going to go and update all those things. So if you want to, change your margins from the top as an example, or on the sides, you can do all of that over here, and you can make your picture smaller, bigger, etc. Okay, so as you can see, very easy to edit, the size and the way you display. If I scroll down over here and I want to go and change the text, remember, you're just going to double click and say superhero sign up as an example. I'm not going to change all the text today. I don't think you're getting the point. But something that's really, really important, and I really want you guys to get this concept, is that yesterday we spoke about lead fields, okay? Now this form over here is key critical. When somebody gives you the information, all right, make sure that you're asking, number one, when you first do your initial broadcast, less is more. So think about yourselves when you get, presented with the form. If you don't have a relationship with somebody and you start asking them for their ID number and their address, it's like, we're not comfortable with providing that information up front. So initially, before you've built up trust, ask for less. So in this case, you can see I'm asking for a name, an email, and a phone number, right? But let's say that this was my first landing page, and the second landing page that I'm going to send them, once they say they want to sign up as a superhero, I'm then going to ask them for more information. Why will I do that? Because I can then start automatically pre-qualifying the leads that come into my environment. So here's an example. So right now, let's say this was my second landing page. If I double click on the form, have a look here. You can customize your form. So basically, if I want to ask you for your company name, maybe I want to ask you to give me your job title as an example, and I want you to give me your address. It gives me the ability to customize exactly what I'm looking for. So think about this. If you are in insurance and you are pushing out a campaign today and somebody first gives you their name, email, and telephone number, you set up an automatic email to be sent to them, which LeadSquared will do for you. And the second emailer has a call to action where somebody can actually then say, okay, you said you were interested in insurance. What kind of insurance? So, and now I ask them, are you interested in third-party insurance, health insurance, life insurance? And I would ask you questions like, are you employed? What is your salary? What salary range are you in? If you're in real estate, somebody says to you, I want to buy a property. Now you can send them a second form that says, right, well, tell me, what's your budget? So like, what can you afford? How urgently do you want to buy? Where do you want to buy, etc.? How many bedrooms, bathrooms, etc.? Because remember, I showed you yesterday how you create all these fields. If you want to add any custom fields, you can do that over here too. Just like we did yesterday, is that if you're in the business of automotive and you want to ask somebody their vehicle registration number, so maybe they want to book in for a service, and you want to add in the vehicle make. Can you see over here? Remember yesterday we put in those drop downs, okay? And now I press save. So have a look at the form that I've just created. And once again, if you want to go and update any images that are in your landing page, just do that over here and press save. Okay, so very easy to build out your landing page. And now what you need to do is hit save. Just ask me any questions you guys want to. So there's another question. Can the reply form be set up so the response is sent to the sales manager? Yes, and sales consultants, absolutely. So that is what we are going to get to now. And when we get into the automations, I'm going to show you how that happens. You're asking really, really great questions. Thanks for that. So I'm now going to hit the next button and say publish. The moment I press publish, what we've done together now in a couple of minutes is basically build a landing page, which is available on the internet. So I'm going to copy this link, okay? And I'm going to pop it in the chat box to all of you. So click on that link if you want to. And look, I mean, we haven't done a great job at, customizing everything right now. That's not the point of today's session. But what you will look at if you click on that link is basically a live website. So I want to show you quickly on my screen what that looks like. So here is the page that we have just built together. There it is over there. There's the form. If I want to fill this in, which I'm going to do. So if you guys click on this link and fill it in, your information is going to come directly into LeadSquared right now. So we'll just say test, BB6GP, whatever it is, and book now and pay later. So that information is being submitted into LeadSquared. Okay, so I'm going to close that quickly. And what I want to do is just share our LeadSquared screen with you again. So I'm just looking for my share button, guys. Just bear with me. Where's it gone? There you are, there. Okay. All right, so I want to take you back into LeadSquared. Right, so we still in the landing page part of LeadSquared. Do you still see that? Okay, now I'm going to hit the next button. Now what happens is it gives you an opportunity to decide what actions you want to happen. So when somebody fills in, do you see over here, what happens after a visitor submits the information on the page? Do you want them to get a thank you message that pops up above the form that you saw me set up? I can change this text if I want to. Do I want to redirect them to maybe my company website, or do I want them to download a document? Okay, so remember things like, give me your information in order to get the latest highlights of what's happening in your area. Or you want to see the new features in this car. Maybe you want the specs of, a product that you're selling. You can let them download your brochure. The next thing is that you can set up an auto response email. So if somebody visits your landing page, all right, at 2 a.m. in the morning, you can decide who you want the email to be sent from. So maybe you want to send it from somebody else in your company, right? In this case, I'm just going to say we want it to come from Agent Phil Colson. And I can then change my subject line over here. And I can say, we are so glad you want to be a superhero, just as an example. If you want to customize any of these fields, so I don't want it to come from my company name. I want it to come from the actual sender. So over here, I'm going to go to mail merge fields, and I'm going to go and look for something that says sender signature. So you see I'm on account fields now. I'm going to go down to owner fields, and there we go, sender fields. I want to send it from I want the sender signature to be populated there. And if I want to merge anything else into this email, you'll see that there's lead fields. So first of all, this person, let's say they gave me a job title on that form, if you remember. So I'm going to say, we are so glad you want to be a superhero because you are a, whatever your job title is, you would be a great fit for our team. Does that make sense? And then I'll personalize this as well. So you can see I'm saying when somebody gets this response, I say hi, and I'm going to say lead first name. If you personalize your emails, you will get a much higher open rate and engagement rate. So if somebody fills in this form at 2 a.m. in the morning while I'm sleeping, my LeadSquared profile is going to be sending responders to people. And then I will always suggest include the unsubscribe link Okay, so that just makes sure that you are complying with, you know, with POPI and GDPR and giving people the opportunity. If the person that this email is being sent from, if you want to just send them a notification, so for every single lead that comes in, I want to send this to my sales manager, and I want to send it to agent Phil Colson as well. I can do that, and I can also go and CC somebody on this as well. So let's go and see if we've got anybody in our database. Can't remember the other people's names. So let's say we want to just CC Nick. I think you guys get the points. I can't remember all the users that we set up. But if we took off that and put it in here, basically it works exactly the same way. Okay. So now what happens is this notification that you're going to send to the sales manager or to the sales user, once again, you're going to get a notification to say, hi, your landing page has got a new form submission. Please call this person with this job title because they were interested in your service. So you can customize that the same way so that your internal people can get notifications. And if this was a campaign that you were building for Phil Colson, then what you can do is you can also say straight away, when a lead comes in, automatically assign that lead to Phil Colson. Okay, so it just does it automatically. And over and above that, if you want to add these people to a specific list, then what you would do is say, okay, well, I want to go and add it to my whatever list it is. So let's just say we go and create a list called new superhero signups as an example. Right, then what I'm going to do is I'm also then going to say, okay, when somebody signs up, I want you to increase my lead score by 20 points because that is a higher qualified lead. And now I'm going to hit the save button once again. And so what I've done is I've set up a landing page and I've set up basic automations to actually respond to every single person that comes into my campaign. So we've taken care of that now. Okay, any questions on that so far, guys? Anything I can answer for you on the landing pages so far? Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press next because I want to go to the next part of the setup. Now what you'll see is I've set up my page title, I already have that. I've got my landing page URL. If you want to put in any meta keywords, meta descriptions, your marketing users would obviously know how, what to put in here. But essentially, you always want to make sure that, you can let your pages be indexed, which will help with, any search engines, etc. And if you want to track your Google Analytics on this page as well, then just go and paste your Google Analytics script here. Now, your webmaster or people that help you with your website will always be able to help you, with tracking codes, etc. It can become a little bit technical for people who are not, familiar with how to use that. I just want to see there's some questions coming through, and I just want to make sure that I answer them. Yes. Okay, so let's just come back to our LeadSquared screen and share again. Right, so we're not going to do any tracking codes or anything now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press next. And now what you can see is that basically that's my landing page details. Okay, that's all the SEO options. And I'm just going to send myself a copy of this to review. Because once again, before I launch a campaign, I want to make sure that, all my buttons are working, that the customer's going to get, the prospect's going to get the best experience when they're dealing with me. Okay, and if I press republish, it now would have implemented all those changes we've made. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that that link. And if you guys want to test that link out for yourself and experience, you know, what happens when you fill that in, I'm just going to have a look if any of you have filled in your information quickly. So let's go back to leads. So as people are filling in, you know, the form on your landing page, etc., all your leads are automatically going to be updated into your LeadSquared profile. You see, here's the lead that I just captured. So if you guys were to click on that link that I shared with you in the box now, you guys are going to be able to, you will see your own names popping up here in my Manage Leads profile. Okay, so let me go and do something else that I want to show you. If you click on this lead itself, just waiting for the page to load, guys. We're almost there. Okay, what you will notice now is that whenever somebody fills in a landing page, okay, will somebody do that for me quickly? Just click on the chat box, click on that link and go and fill in that link. I actually just want to demonstrate so you can see for yourself how this works in real time. So just use that link in the chat box, go and put your information in quickly and just submit that form on that landing page. Somebody will be brave enough to do that for me, please. Yeah, I'm going to do it too. Okay, somebody done it for me? Okay, fantastic. Thanks. Thank you, Joseph. Okay, so let's just refresh. Okay, we're just waiting for the information to come through. So what you're going to notice, remember we sent off that email campaign and we sent off we built a landing page. So what I just want to do quickly is I want to click on email campaign. So while we wait for those leads to come through. On the email campaign, you will also now start seeing, right, so this was the campaign we did. It's complete. You will see that it's all fake email addresses. So you'll see that the click rate is 0% and the open rate is 0%. But if you click on the actual link, the email campaign name, because remember we called it superheroes, what you will see on this on the statistics, it will show you which links on your email are actually performing. Because if you remember, we went and put in an option for somebody to download a file. We also put in a YouTube music video, and we put in the LeadSquared sign up button. So you will see exactly which links are performing well, how many people have opened, clicked your email, but very importantly, you will actually have a list of people. It will show you exactly who your prospects are that are engaging with your actual email content. And it will also, as you can see, it's all fake email addresses. So that's why it's showing me over here. These are all the leads with bounced emails. So you will also know exactly which email addresses in your database are no longer valid. So that's just where you will see your email campaign reporting. And I just want to show you on the landing pages quickly. If we click on landing pages, it'll also give you a list of all the landing pages that you guys build in your profile. So just waiting for that page to load. So if you have a look at the landing pages, can you see that's the page that we just created together? 12 people have viewed that page, which would be you guys, because there's nobody else that I've shared this page with. 6 people have submitted the form. So we've got a conversion rate of 50. So if we go and click on this link to go and see more statistics, what you will see again over here is all the visits, etc., and the conversion rate, the submissions, and when the data refreshes, you will see a list of people who have actually submitted their information on this particular page. Okay, so let's just go back to our leads over here. And I just want to see why we are not seeing Joseph's entry. So it's something to do with our filters over here. All, any, created on all time. Let's just say today. Murphy's Law, when you want to show somebody how it works and you can't find what you're looking for. So let's just go over here and say search leads and put in Joseph. Did you press the submit button, Joseph? Okay, well, let's have a look here quickly. If we click on one of these leads, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is that every time somebody clicks on the actual landing page on your activity, you're going to see exactly which landing pages every single lead has clicked on. And when they submit a form on your website, you will also see exactly the information that they've actually populated on that page as well. So I just want to refresh one more time and see if I can show you what's going on here. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, I really can't understand what I'm doing wrong, that I can't pick up Joseph's details. But he will probably populate the moment that we go offline. Okay, so essentially that's where I wanted to end off with you guys on landing pages today. The next thing that I want to show you is how to deal with automations. So all I've done right now is I've showed you guys how to do email campaigns. I've showed you how to build a landing page. And now what I want to show you is how you actually build out your automations. Now, the automation feature is you taking an entire workflow and using what we call our drag and drop visual designer to automate any process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head off over here to this automation menu item. And what I'm going to do is we are going to set up an automation that says when somebody, all right, fills in that form on that landing page that we've published, we want them to receive a specific email response, and we want to maybe notify somebody in our team. Okay, so what we're going to do over here is I'm going to go to, sorry, you know what, I realized what happened, guys. I've got to give you a new link. Sorry, sometimes the trainer even needs some training. Remember, we republished with extra rules. That's why I've got to give you the new link. The penny just dropped. So let me just get that URL and send it to you guys quickly. We made some changes. There it is over there. Sorry about that. Okay. So just back to automation quickly. It's a drag and drop, it's a visual designer, but what you need to do before you start building your automations is you must understand what that automation looks like. So if you even draw it out on a piece of paper and say, okay, when a lead comes in, what are the steps that you want them to go through? And then you can build it visually in front of you. So if I click on create automation, LeadSquared gives you a whole lot of pre-built automations that you can already use. Now, when you get used to using automations, I am confident to say that to you that you would probably want to start building your own automations from scratch, just because it becomes so easy to use. But for those of you who want to use things like maybe a prospect follow-up, it would set the automation up for you, and you would just go and link what you want the customer to get. So things like birthday wishes. I mean, it really doesn't matter what you want to automate. There's nothing that you can't automate. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to click on build from scratch. Okay. And over here, you will notice when the screen opens is that you're looking at a couple of automation options. Now, I'm working in a premium package at the moment. So if you don't see everything that I see, it means that you would need to obviously upgrade your LeadSquared plan if this is, if you've got things missing. But working in a premium plan, you can see I've got the ability to decide when will my automation start. Will it be off a lead trigger? Okay, so basically what this means is that if I select a new lead, okay, then it will trigger the automation when a new lead has been created in my LeadSquared account. All right. A lead update, this basically means that when any field is updated, so specific field that I'm going to select or it's changed, that's when this automation will start. Sometimes I might want to say, okay, well, when a lead is added to a list, then I want them to be part of an automation and maybe on a specific date. So something like a policy renewal, maybe it's a service date or their birthday. So that's triggering an automation on a date. Activity triggers is things like when somebody fills in, visits a specific page on your website, or they take action on a particular page of your website or submit a form. Maybe you have something where there's an activity update on a lead. Sorry, I don't want to click on that yet. But basically, this would be like a sales activity that's taken place, okay? And then you've got also the ability to set up automations when certain tasks happen. So it could be something like when an application comes in to your business and you want a salesperson to contact somebody 45 minutes after they've read your case study, then you would select, use your task triggers. And your user triggers would also be things like, if you have a look at, so on a specific day, maybe the start of a work day. So maybe on the start of the work day, you want your staff, your sales team to get a reminder to send you their sales figures, just as an example. And then you've also got things like a regular interval, so where you want to do things maybe every hour, day, week, month, so reoccurring things. So let's go and do a lead trigger and say for every new lead that fills in a form on that page, that landing page that we've just built together, then we're going to do something like this. So you'll see it pops you up a screen and I'm going to say add conditions. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that when somebody fills in, okay, let's say the lead activity is, let's look for something that says landing page. Here we go. When somebody submits a form, not on any landing page, on the specific landing page that we've just created together, the new hero sign up page. Okay, I add the condition and then I say set criteria. And I'm then going to hit the save button. So the next step I want to say is, okay, so what happens when they do this? Well, I'm then going to say, right, I want to wait. Okay, I'm going to wait for, let's say, 10 minutes. And I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to say, right, well, I want them to then receive an email. So I'm going to say messaging, send an email. And remember, I've got my templates that we've built out together. But for purposes of this, I'm just going to select and say, let's use, let's have a look at these campaigns over here. So we'll say we're going to use this one. So use this email. So I want them to get this email, welcome aboard. Right, then I can even go on and say things like, if somebody opens this email, do you see opens this email? Then what I want to do is I want to distribute this lead to my sales team and I want to create a task for them to actually call this person and welcome them and tell them what the next steps are going to be. So now I'm going to say, send this lead, all right, and I actually want a phone call to happen and I'm going to send it to one of my salespeople. So the lead is going to be distributed, and I press save. I'm going to say over here, if they don't open this email, then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to say a day, and I'm going to send them a reminder to say, just making sure, did you get this email that I sent to you? You asked for our ebook as an example, and that's basically what an automation looks like. Now, let's say that this person over here has a phone call. Then what I'm going to do is, after somebody has a phone call, I'm going to say, okay, from a sales execution perspective, what I want to do is I'm actually going to go and distribute the lead to somebody. So if you want to distribute the lead to somebody in your team, remember we spoke about users and groups and teams yesterday? Now I can go and say, okay, well, I want to send the leads to a specific group or specific user. So when I do that, it says choose your users. So I want Carol, right, and Phil to get these leads, and they will get it on a round robin basis. But if they're not available, it must go to the sales manager, if you see that. Okay, so it's not going to save it now because we're not going to, or let's go and choose the condition to show you quickly how that works. So we'll just say where the prospect ID is lead source, and let's just say direct traffic as an example, add condition, set criteria, and save it. Can you see that there's an automation that I've built? And once I name this and call it, okay, this is my superhero sign up automation, and I save that, and I save it and publish it, it's now live. And so everybody that fills in that form is going to be taken through this journey. Remember, the difference between their journeys is here is if somebody opens the email, they're going to get a call. Then they're going to, the lead's going to be distributed. And so the process can go on and on and on. Or if they don't open it, I'm going to wait and send them a reminder. So you've got the ability to go and create all these automations inside LeadSquared. And I mean, as you can imagine, just imagine that the time you would save if you've got LeadSquared taking care of all these processes for you. So everything from distributing leads to notifying users to updating customers, all of this stuff can be automated and available inside your LeadSquared profile. So that's where, guys, I'd like to end off today. I hope that I haven't bombarded you with too much information. I just want to have a look at some questions quickly. So, can more than one trigger be implemented? Okay, so the answer is yes. You can have as many triggers as you like, depending on the plan you are on. So, if you are looking at, as an example, module 3, just to explain this to you, let me just open this up quickly and share this with you. So if you take a look at this over here, if you go to the pricing page on LeadSquared, you will see that every package gives you a certain feature and limit. So if you come down here to where it says automations and forms and processes, so you'll see module 3 is the only one who gives you forms and processes, like I spoke to you guys about yesterday. And when you get to automations over here, can you see it gives you 20 automations? So if you want to, let's say you need 30 automations in your business, then basically what would happen is that you would top up. And an automation as on a top-up basis costs you 750 Rand a month. The 20 automations is quite significant. So it's just when you get very complex automations, like you want to branch out and do credit checks, or integrate with other applications for your business, and that you may need more. But 20 automations is significant. And for most of you, you're using, you don't have more than, let's say, 5 products or services, you're going to get away with module 2 using 10 automations, but you can upgrade at any point in time. Okay, so I mean, when I say upgrade, like if you need an extra automation, you can just pay for an extra automation every month. So I hope that answers your question. Right. Any other questions that you guys have for me today? Please don't be shy. I really want to make sure that this is, time well spent for you. Okay, and then last question from my side. Are you guys excited about what I've shown you today? Do you think it's going to make a difference in your business? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So guys, please reach out to us if we can help you. Any questions, we're there to help you. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, join me for, we've got 3 more parts, marketing in more detail and sales happening this week. But from my side, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate your time. I'm going to share this video